This video explores a number of tools that can be useful in researching the environmental statutes of the United States. You can find environmental statutes scattered in many of the titles of the United States Code. The Office of the Law Revision Council, the people who actually maintain the U.S. Code, are engaged in a massive project to prepare and submit to the Committee on the Judiciary, one title at a time, a complete compilation, restatement, and revision of the general and permanent laws of the United States. The problem with this undertaking is that some titles of the current U.S. Code are so huge that it would be very difficult to put the entire title through the codification process at one time. Besides, these huge titles are often on more than one topic. The Office of the Law Revision Council has recently begun taking complete areas of law out of the current titles they are located in and drafting new titles to go at the end of the code. One of these projects is the recently enacted Title 54 National Parks, which took related sections of the existing Title 16 Conservation and rearranged them. Another is the proposed Title 55 Environment, which takes a number of laws from the current Title 42 Health and Welfare, and work has also begun on Title 56 Wildlife. The law revision process sometimes just involves renumbering existing statutes, but sometimes harmonization is required, so environmental practitioners might want to keep their eye on the law revision process. One very convenient way to access federal environmental statutes is to use the Bloomberg B&A Environment and Safety Resource Center Federal Statutes link. Environmental statutes are often cited by their popular names and by the section number of the Environmental Act rather than by their code citations. Environmental statutes on B&A Bloomberg are very easy to find by popular name in this alphabetical listing. Of course, it is much easier to check the current status of a statute and also to find interpretive cases if you have the U.S. Code citation, so you may want to translate an Act citation to a U.S. Code citation so you can shepherdize or key cite it, or to look for interpretive cases. When you use environmental statutes on Bloomberg B&A, each section of the Act is translated to its U.S. Code citation in square brackets. You can see here that Section 101 of CERCLA is currently at 42 U.S.C. Section 9601. Also, when you link to this public law number on Bloomberg B&A, it takes you to the two popular names that this public law has, which illustrates another very important point, which is that one public law can have more than one popular name, because one act can be about more than one subject. Another important thing to do when looking at code sections is to look at the surrounding sections. To do this on Bloomberg B&A, check the Browse Contents link. This allows you to get an overview of the code sections. Seeing code sections in context is easy to see when you need to read some of the surrounding sections in order to make total sense of what a particular provision means. This is especially true on Lexis and Westlaw, which define individual code sections as separate documents. You often need to read not just the particular document that you located through a search, but also other adjoining and related code sections to fully understand the law. These could be definition sections or sections limiting a statute's applicability. Whenever you look at a code section on any platform, be sure to check the table of contents for related sections that you should also be reading. The Environmental Law Reporter also has a legislative section. It provides access to environmental statutes by popular name as well. For some of the statutes, like the Bald and Gold Eagle Protection Act, there is an outline that describes the legal effect of the various sections of the Act. For some, like the Clean Air Act, in addition to the detailed statute outline, there's the full text of the statute available as a PDF. You see here that cross-references between U.S. Code citations and the Act sections are available on this platform as well, although not quite as easy to understand. In another video, you learned about 50-state surveys on Lexis and Westlaw. Lexis has 50-state surveys on energy and utilities and on environmental law that cover a variety of topics. Here's one of them on fish and game. It has a federal and state overview and a chart for state-by-state content with links to statutes and some descriptions of the state laws. Be sure to check the date the survey was compiled, as the law changes over time, and these surveys are a starting point, not the final word. Westlaw also has environmental 50-state surveys that can provide a big head start in 50-state environmental legal research.